Brussels sprouts, and Brussels sprouts once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with Brussels sprouts. So maybe you think Brussels sprouts are mini cabbages. Maybe you like them, maybe you hate them. Maybe you've never seen one before. Maybe you absolutely don't know what they are. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the Brussels sprout. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. Brussels sprouts are vegetables in the cruciferous family. Now, for those of us that are wondering, what in the world is the cruciferous vegetable family? Well, guys, it's easy. Just listen on. Cruciferous vegetables, sometimes also called brassica vegetables, include such foods as broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, bok choy, and collard greens. So take a look at the picture. As you can see, we have a few members, not all of the members, from the cruciferous vegetable family. So the picture clearly shows cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. So there we have it, guys. We now know a little more background information about the one and only Brussels sprouts. All right, more background information. Cruciferous vegetables are cool weather vegetables. This means they're usually in season late fall through early spring. So I guess that now answers the question, when in the world is the best time to purchase Brussels sprouts? They have flowers, leaves, buds, and sometimes seeds that are eaten for their high nutrient content. Wow, how nice. So there we have it, guys. We now know that we can not only eat the Brussels sprouts themselves, but if they have any seeds or leaves present or flowers, we can go ahead and gobble those down too. So there we have it, a few more little bits and pieces of background information about the one and only Brussels sprout. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. Long popular in Brussels, Belgium, which is where this veggie gets its name from, it's believed that Brussels sprouts have been eaten regularly in Belgium since the 13th century, although it's likely they go all the way back to ancient Rome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the picture. So I wanted you to know exactly where the country of Belgium is located. Ladies and gentlemen, it's located in Europe. As you can see, it is bordered by several more popular countries such as France, Germany, and the Netherlands, and it's also bordered by the North Sea. And of course, the capital of Belgium is Brussels. That's right, where the sprouts got their name from. So I guess that now solves the big mystery, right? Where do Brussels sprouts come from? Well, we now know they actually come from Belgium. So there we have it, guys. Some fun facts about the one and only Brussels sprouts. All right, more fun facts. A lot of us may have the question, are Brussels sprouts just small cabbages? Well, here's the answer. They look just like miniature cabbages, and that's because Brussels sprouts are closely related to large types of cabbages and technically considered a form of cabbage themselves. Both are in the same plant family. However, they differ because we eat the heads of cabbages that grow out of the ground, while we eat the smaller buds of Brussels sprouts that grow along the plant's thick stalk. So, my dear students, my dear people, 23% Nation, we now know the question as to whether or not are Brussels sprouts just small cabbages. All right. Now, some of us may be interested in eating more Brussels sprouts. And if so, you probably want to know, how should I purchase Brussels sprouts, right? Well, here we go. When purchasing Brussels sprouts, look for those that are tightly packed, with the pieces pressed firmly together and not spayed open. You want to look for a uniform texture and color across the sprouts, with no noticeable dark patches or wilting. So there we have it, guys. So whether we're purchasing our Brussels sprouts from a farmer's market, as shown clearly in the picture, or from your local grocery store, then you pretty much know exactly what to look for. Make sure the color is uniform, and also make sure there's no wilting or dark patches. All right, more fun facts. A lot of us may want to know, how do we store Brussels sprouts, right? Well, in order to ensure the nutrients are all still intact, it's best to use Brussels sprouts within 3 to 7 days after purchasing them if possible. Uncooked sprouts will remain fresh in your refrigerator longer than they are cooked. Interesting. Either way, you can extend their shelf life by storing them in a sealed dry container or plastic bag if possible, along with a paper towel to absorb moisture. So there we have it, guys. We now know exactly how to store our Brussels sprouts, right? All right, now it's time for the not so fun facts. There is some concern over preliminary observations that cruciferous vegetables, including Brussels sprouts, can have a negative effect on thyroid function. Oh no. Cruciferous vegetables are the major source of glucosinolates in the human diet, and certain glucosinolates are converted into goitrogenic species, which may have an impact on thyroid function. However, studies now show that the benefits of cruciferous veggies outweigh the bad. So, if anything, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a good idea to eat your Brussels sprouts, or any cruciferous vegetable for that matter. But of course, if you notice any type of irregularities with your thyroid gland, then you probably either want to reduce your consumption or go to your doctor. All right, guys, it's time to dive into the 5-20 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5-20 rule is all about food labels. That's right. It helps us to understand and read food labels. Ultimately, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, when we talk about the 5-20 rule, specifically, we're talking about percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it is divided into 3 main portions. We have the purple portion, the yellow, and then we have the light blue. So let's take it color by color or portion by portion. First up is the percent daily value column. Now, as you can see, percent DV is basically represented as a percentage. That is a scale from as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now, let's move over to the yellow nutrients. When we talk about the yellow nutrients, such as saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium, well, unfortunately, these nutrients do a really good job at promoting disease, sickness, and illness within the human body. So if anything, you want to make sure that these percentages, or shall we say percent DV, are as close to 0% as possible. Now, let's talk about the blue portion. Basically highlighting dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically represent all vitamins and minerals. Well, these nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote disease, they promote health. They promote wellness within the body temple. So if anything, you want to make sure that those percent DVs are as close to 100% as possible. Now, as far as the 5-20 rule is concerned, I would like to be just a little more specific. So, if any food or beverage item that you're consuming offers 0% to 9% DV, then that food or beverage item is considered not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item offers 10% to 19% DV, then that food or beverage item is a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 5-20 rule. All right, so now that we're familiar with the 5-20 rule, let's now dive into the nutrition facts. Now, for today's lecture, we're going to say that a single serving of Brussels sprouts is a half cup of boiled, meaning cooked, right? So here we go. So in one serving, we're only going to get 28.1 calories, 5.5 grams of carbs, Look at this, 2 grams of protein. How nice. Also 0.4 grams of fat, and check this out, 2 grams of fiber. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the reasons why vegetables are amazing, in that you also get fiber with your protein. Now, this is one of the ways in which vegetables differ from meat, is that meat, yes, it will provide you with protein, but it will not provide you any fiber whatsoever. Moving on, first up is vitamin K. Now, vitamin K comes in at a whopping 137% DV. Now, not only is this an excellent source of vitamin K, but what this essentially means is that a single serving of Brussels sprouts, which once again is only a half cup, is going to provide you with more than a single day's worth of vitamin K. That's right, guys, almost a day and a half worth. So if you're looking for vitamin K, it's easy. Eat more Brussels sprouts. Next up is vitamin C, coming in at 81% DV, excellent source. Then we have vitamin A coming in at 12%, good source. Next up is folate, coming in at 12% DV, good source. Then we have manganese coming in at 9% DV, not a good source. Vitamin B6, 7% DV, not a good source. Potassium also is 7% DV, not a good source. Then there's thiamine coming in at 6% DV, not a good source. Iron at 5% DV, not a good source. But remember something, ladies and gentlemen, that this is only a half cup, right? So if you want more iron, eat another half cup. That way you'll be up to 10% DV. Lastly is riboflavin, magnesium, and phosphorus, all coming in at only 4% DV. So unfortunately, a single serving, which is half a cup of cooked Brussels sprouts, is not a good source of riboflavin, magnesium, and phosphorus. So there we have it, guys, the nutrition facts about the one and only Brussels sprouts. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, I want to offer you this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the principle of cause and effect, which basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. That being said, I want to let you know that if you currently have a disease, a sickness, or an illness, well, unfortunately, you probably caused it. And it's the same thing if you're healthy. Well, you probably caused that too. So it's not only important that we focus on the effects, which technically are the benefits, but it's more important that we focus on the causes, right? So in other words, what causes the health benefits of Brussels sprouts? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's easy. It's the phytonutrients that are inside the plants themselves. That's right. So not only am I going to provide you with the benefit, which is the effect, but I'm also going to give you the name of the phytonutrient, or we can use the word medicine, which causes the benefit. So here we go. Benefit number 1, Brussels sprouts protect against cancer. So now the question is, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, there's several of them, such as sulforaphane, glucosinolates, isothiocyanates, and chlorophyll. Benefit number 2, builds bones. Which phytonutrient does that? Well, say hello to vitamin K. Benefit number 3, boost the immune system. Well, what's responsible? Well, say hello to vitamin C. Benefit number 4, fights inflammation and heart disease. Now the question is, which phytonutrients, which medicines are responsible? Well, say hello to vitamin K, vitamin C, antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, sulforaphane, glucobrasinin, glucoraphanin, and gluconestergen. Benefit number 5, it restores digestive health. So the question is, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to glucosinolates, sulforaphane, and fiber once again. Moving on. Benefit number 6, protects eye and skin health. Well, which one does that? Well, vitamin C, vitamin A, zeaxanthin, sulforaphane, and there you have it. Benefit number 7, ensures proper nerve functioning. Which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, say hello to potassium. Benefit number 8, improves brain health. What's responsible? Sulforaphane, vitamin C, and vitamin A. Benefit number 9, helps maintain a healthy pregnancy. Ladies, how important is that? Well, which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, say hello to folate. And benefit number 10, Brussels sprouts balance blood sugar and fight diabetes. So the question is, which medicine is responsible? Well, say hello to alpha lipoic acid. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. 10 amazing health benefits from the one and only Brussels sprouts. All right, now it's time to talk about food. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to forksoverknives.com, which is basically our website for everything vegan, yes. So, as usual, did my research, went to the website, and found 2 amazing vegan Brussels sprout recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is creamy Brussels sprouts with sun-dried tomatoes. Take a look at the picture. Looks amazing. The second recipe is Brussels sprouts, sweet potato, and balsamic pizza. Take a look at that picture. Looks delicious, yes. Now here's the thing. If you are motivated to make and taste these dishes, all you have to do is click on the description box. Why? Because I'm providing you with a direct link to each recipe. Now, click on the link, you're going to find some wonderful information, such as cooking time, cooking instructions, an ingredient list, and more pictures, and maybe even a video. So do me a favor, click on the link, make the dish, taste the dish, come back to the video, and of course, share your thoughts. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Not 1, but 2 amazingly delicious vegan Brussels sprouts recipes from forksoverknives.com. All right, 23% nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts. Coach D, thanks for the not so fun facts. And even I appreciate the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when in the world should I eat more Brussels sprouts? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if that's your question, then I got to tell you that the perfect day to eat more Brussels sprouts is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Oh yes, guys, good old Nature Day. Guys, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, what in the world is the 23% challenge? Well, if you've been living under a rock and you know nothing about the challenge, here we go. The 23% challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. Now, here are 2 things that you need to know about the challenge. Number 1, it's monthly, meaning every month, January through December. And number 2, it's only 7 days long. That's right. It's the 1st all the way through the 7th. Now, being that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, that simply means that Nature Day is the first day of every month. So whether it's January 1st, May 1st, or even August 1st, it's always Nature Day. So a lot of people may now wonder, so what is Nature Day all about? Coach D, hook it up. I want to know. Well, guys, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature, but through food. Now, not just any type of food, it's all plant foods. That's right, guys. So Nature Day is all about eating more plants. Now, for some of us, that may be easy. For others, it may be difficult. If it's difficult, then I believe in taking baby steps. So you may want to try eating only plants and drinking only water before 12 p.m. That way, after 12 p.m., you can eat whatever you want to eat. For others, before 12 p.m. may be difficult. So maybe after 12 p.m., you can only eat plant foods and drink only water. There you got it. Now, for those of us who think that before 12 p.m. or after 12 p.m. is too small of a baby step, you may want to take a bigger baby step, right? You may want to up the ante. So if that's you, then let's try to step it up and try to become a 3% vegan. Now, what is that? Well, it's any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 1 day out of an entire month. Next up is a 10% vegan, which is any person, right, who eats plant foods and drinks only water only 3 days out of an entire month. Next up is a 17% vegan, which is any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is the ultimate 23% vegan. Now that's any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water the first 7 days of every month. Now, technically, guys, that's what I consider myself to be, a 23% vegan. So that means that for the first 7 days of every month, I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, which happen to be fruits, vegetables and herbs, nuts and seeds, legumes, meaning beans and peas, and whole grains. And of course, the only beverage that I consume is good old water. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the ins and outs about Nature Day. Okay, now a lot of us may want to know, well, who is Nature Day for? In other words, who in the world is going to eat plant foods for 7 consecutive days, right? Well, guys, if that's your question, then here's the answer. So maybe you're suffering from what I like to call the big 4, which happen to be heart disease, cancer, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. And maybe you're looking for a holistic approach to your healing, right? Maybe you have skin issues such as eczema, psoriasis, pimples, and acne. Maybe you have digestive issues such as irritable bowel syndrome, leaky gut syndrome, or maybe constipation. Maybe you have mental issues such as depression, bipolar, anger issues, depression issues, right? Well, if you have any of those issues and you're looking for a holistic, natural approach to your healing, then it's easy, guys. Eat more plants. Maybe you're looking to lose a little bit of weight. Maybe you want to drop a few inches from your waist or from your hips, right? You may want to try our vegan lean program. Maybe you're looking to add a little bit of muscle to your body, so you may want to try our vegan bulk program. Or maybe you're just interested in transitioning from the standard American diet to a more whole food plant-based diet. Then you may want to try Nature Day, right? Or maybe you're just interested in eating more plants. Well, guys, if you meet any of these qualifications, any of these descriptions, then yes, Nature Day is definitely for you. All right, now it's time for Coach D's tips. Why am I offering advice? Well, because I want you to have a successful Nature Day. So tip number 1, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to 3 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. Number 3 is the canned good aisle. Now, the produce section is where you're going to find all of your fresh plant foods. The freezer aisle is where you're going to find all of your frozen plant foods. And the third place, the canned good aisle, that's where you're going to find all of your canned plant foods. Now, a lot of people may wonder, Coach D, what's best, fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, in a nutshell, I'll put it to you like this. Fresh is going to be first. Why? Because they're fresh. Okay. Number 2 is going to be frozen, although it's a close second because the nutrient content is pretty much the same. And last, way in the back, is going to be canned. Now, the reason why I put canned plant foods last, dead last at that, is because unfortunately, when you overly cook vegetables, in this case, Brussels sprouts, they do lose a lot of their nutrients, and they also somehow get caught up with a lot of toxins. So it's very possible that when you eat canned foods, you actually may end up eating more toxins than you do nutrients. So that's why I put canned foods all the way in the back. Tip number 2, go visit the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. Now, once you're done with the canned good aisle, the freezer aisle, and the produce section, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Now, when you get there, I want you to talk to the person behind the counter, the person actually serving the food, and ask them if they have any vegan, not vegetarian options. Now, if they do, go ahead and ask for a sample. Don't worry, it's free. And if you like it, order it by the pound or maybe even 2-3 pounds if you really, really, really like it. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, farmers markets do an excellent job, especially for those of us who must have non-GMO organic plant foods. Why? Because farmers markets special in non-GMO organic plant foods. That's right, guys. Plus, they may even save you a little bit of money. Why? Because the produce is grown locally. That's right. So all of those extra transportation costs are null and void. Tip number 4, go visit your local vegan restaurant. Now, vegan restaurants are amazing. Why? Because they hire vegan chefs. So here's a really good thing about vegan chefs. Number 1, they know exactly how to cook plant foods. And number 2, they know which plant foods to combine together to yield the most nutritious, delicious dishes. And my last tip is to go visit, or shall I say, get a subscription to a vegan meal prep company, right? This is for those of us who claim we don't have time to cook plant foods, we don't know how to cook plant foods, or we just don't want to cook plant foods. Well, guys, here's the solution. You get the subscription, they make it, they deliver it, and you eat it. Yes, it's just that simple. So there we have it, guys. 5 very helpful tips to help make your nature day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day, and this comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We want to know, Brussels sprouts get their name from which European country? Now, I believe I covered that earlier in the lecture, so if you didn't hear it, just simply hit rewind. If you know the answer, please write it in the comment box below. Well, guys, I want to thank you for listening, and I definitely want to thank you for watching. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and like the video, especially if you love Brussels sprouts. Oh, and don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's #EatMorePlants. As stated earlier, I'm Coach D. I'm signing out. God bless.